couple players I want to ask about first. Sternberg, is he back this weekend?
Uh, Unsure yet.
Okay. Uh, Kankula, I've noticed he hasn't been in the lineup for quite a bit. Is injury, just healthy scratch?
Yeah, just decisions. He's been great. It's tough. Coming in and taking over the program. One thing is that we have a lot of players. Often we have 18
Mm-hmm.
forwards right now, and it's tough to get rhythm and everybody in. The one thing I'll say about Shank is he's been such a pro about everything. Like he's been really good. Competes every day in practice, and it's nothing that he's not doing. It comes down to a little bit more of right now how I structured our lineup and a coach's decision.
I understand what it's like walking into a team. I mean, you know yourself from being a juniors.
Mm-hmm.
It's even worse when you walk in mid-season. So
Yeah,
it's it's a lot to change. I mean, you don't really have your guys here yet or anything like that. So you're just dealing with what you can. Totally understand. Makes sense. You walk into the next subject though. Forwards. How do you get them to start scoring? I mean, you're only. I mean, you're getting shots, but I don't know. I mean, you know better than I do about the quality of shots.
yeah,
But you're 48th in the nation, 2.2 goals a game. Your power play is pretty good at 22%, but it just seems a 5-on-5 play is just
yeah,
not putting the puck in the net.
yeah. It's not from a lack of trying. It's if you look at the expected goals versus actual to expected, we're actually quite high. We're giving up just over a goal a game that we should be scoring on five as actual to expected, off it. And so it's not, we're getting the opportunities, we're getting the chances, and as I said to the guys, I would much rather them go through these trials and tribulations now than in February, March, off it. And power play's been good, 22% collective where we're at in the league would put us in the top third, I'm guessing, off it in the probably in the country as well, off in terms of college hockey. But 5-on-5, we do gotta, we we've talked about it, but you also have to be diligent on talking about it because again, you don't want guys to grip the sticks even more, off it. And it's funny. I've been on teams like this coaching. I've been on teams the other way where everything was just going in, off it. So we can't stop the way we're playing. We're having good ozone possession time. We're having good looks, good inner slot shots, good slot shots as well. It's just a matter of being able to finish them off it. So definitely an area of concern in the sense that we like to score more goals. We like to give our goalies a lead. Maybe a bit of a separation lead instead of a one goal lead as well. So but at the end of the day, it's from not a lack of trying or skill development and practice. It's going to come for these young men, and the one thing about them is they've been really they're really invested in it. You can see they want to perform well. They want everybody wants to score, whether you're D or forward. The only even goalies want your team to score. It's the one time in the game where everybody comes together and everyone gets to give a high five to each other, right? So it's unfortunately you don't get that off the save. Guys don't go down the bench, on it. But it's definitely one that we got to continue to build off of and continue to try to build confidence.
Do you find it's um, the lack of ability of banging in those second and third chance opportunities? It's what's really hindered the goal scoring. Like I mean, we know, especially at this level, scoring off a shot, unless the goalie's eyes are taken away,
Yep.
it's really hard. But second and third chance opportunities where you really got to cash in.
Well, really, like, I look at it here, where I see we're at even strength shot attempts for, we're 17th in the country. We're 16th in shots against. The area of concern is even strength percentage shot attempts on net. We're hitting 50% of our shots are hitting the net, so they're getting missed or blocked. So now you got to start looking at maybe taking a little bit off the shot to think more about accuracy or changing angles and moving pucks outside. So, to me, that there's a sign where, the leader in the country is almost 60%. That's a big difference when you're looking at shot volume and the number of shots. Then if you more shots hit the net, you'll have second, third opportunities, off it. So it's really important that we continue to shoot the puck like we have been off it, because again we've done a lot of nice things in terms of our inner slot shots on net for. We're 23rd, so we're getting to the right areas. That puts you in the top third of inner slot shots on net, and it's just a matter now maybe of, instead of just putting it back into the pad, how do you create the ability, and it's by repetitions and practice we've been doing, to have the composure to maybe pull a puck to the side and elevate instead of just keep jamming it into the pad. And that comes with time, reps, and it's been a lot of skill development, something that I've tried to incorporate a lot in our practice that I don't know how much has ever been taught to them all the way throughout, because even in junior hockey it's tough to find skill development base. A lot of it's structure, and they have a lot more games, so it is difficult, but it's one thing. We've had 2 weekends off this month, which hasn't been very probably enjoyable for our players, or helps you to get into repetitions and some continuity. But on the flip side, it has helped us incorporate more skill sets in our practice and split sessions.
Other people I've talked to, the schedule seems so quirky this year with breaks, and it just seems like you're trying to get into a rhythm, and as much as you practice, it's nowhere near the same as game day. And you coming from junior, where you're playing close to 70 games, to like having weekends off, you're probably pacing around your own home, going, "What am I doing? What am I doing?"
100%. You're dead. I just joked with our general manager in Everett, and he was just talking about how they finish up with 6 games and 9 nights coming up, and they just got done 7 games and 11 nights, and that pretty much covers our whole schedule for the first half, so the schedule is not really one. It was set prior, I kind of given it, but to have a weekend off, especially 2 in the same month, makes it hard on the guys. You want to play every weekend, you want to, and because again, you think about it, we go into St. Thomas, we win the first night in a shootout, and then we get beat the next night 6-3. Then you got to wait 14 more days to play your next game. You almost want to get right back on the horse and forget about that one. It's been difficult, but the guys have handled it quite well.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, sticking with offense, you're heading up to Minnesota State, and one of the top goaltenders in college hockey this year. Any general thoughts? Obviously, I don't want you to give away state secrets, but I mean, what have you been telling the guys?
Well, like you said, their even strength actual to expected goals against is minus 1.12. He's first in the country, on that. And again, if he sees the puck, he's going to stop it. So we got to make sure we have traffic. We're getting to the net front. At the end of the day, if you want to be a goal scorer, you can't score on the perimeter. You got to get in and get second, third opportunities, and even more so against a team like this. They play really good defense. They have good structure, and if you add on top of it what their goaltender is doing this year, and it makes for a reason why they're where they're at, off it. So we're going to be challenged there. I know we're going to put our best foot forward, and for us it's about. We know what they're going to do, but at the same time, we're still in the early stages. We got to focus on what we want to do. We're still trying to build on our identity, on our brand, on what we want to be known for, and I think sometimes we as coaches we decide to focus too much on what our opponents do instead of still work on what we want to do. So we know going down the road we want to play a road mindset game. I always tell our guys you're trying to go in there and be quiet, hard. Play a collective game and put our best foot forward.
I had the good fortune of seeing them live earlier in the year, and actually video doesn't do it justice, because one of the things they really seem to thrive on is when plays down in front of their net, as soon as it looks like they have possession, they're quick on the transition and way to go, and that's what has helped them a lot, and they create a lot of odd man rushes doing that. So that's in a situation, like you say, when everybody's anxious about scoring, your defenseman's trying to pinch down a little more than they probably should at times, and that's what happens. But yeah, it should be good. Now, I see Stover was back this past weekend.
Yeah.
Plans going forward, split the cage, run with a hot hand? Any thoughts right now, or?
No, I just do it day by day. Every day is another evaluation for all our players. I tell them what you've done on the weekend doesn't translate to next weekend. You know, you got to keep coming here and earning your ice time and proving you deserve the net, proving you deserve to be one of the 7D or 13 forwards in power play. That's kind of been our MO here. Is that you? So for me right now, I just keep evaluating. It's obviously great to have Christian back. You know, last weekend he played a really good game on Saturday for us. Did a really nice job. Had to leave there with about 8-9 minutes left maybe in the game. Then Cole had to come in, and he did a great job too. Obviously, they had a 5-minute power play with about 6 minutes left, so we had a huge kill there. And so, but your penalty kill is always just as good as your goalie, and those guys were really good that night for us, both Christian and Cole.
Well, you know what, geez, you keep leading me into my next question. Penalty kill. Yeah, it's obviously something you've been focusing on trying to get better.
Yeah.
Thoughts? I mean, having Sternberg out of the lineup the last couple of games. I mean, well, yeah. If he's not in the box serving the penalties, he does a decent job of clearing the front and all that.
Yes.
You know what? I got to ask you, sideline. I coached for a lot of years. I'm maybe a little too old school. The diamond where you see the opposition forward standing in front of the goalie all by himself. I mean, I get the premise. You want to try to front the shots and all that, but you know, you got to have the guys willing to block those shots.
Yeah.
For that to be effective. And you know, just conversation between you and I right now. Nothing whatever write down or quote you on, but is that more effective to be pushing that guy out of the way and let your goalie see the shots, or is it still you think?
Yeah,
that guy stand there.
Listen, I'm on the fence both ways because you still have the old push down, you have the diamond. I don't care which one as long as it's effective. So when I coached the World Junior team as an assistant, I did a push down. The next year when Steph Julian ran it on the penalty kill, he wanted to do the diamond, and we were good at that, you know. And we did have a lot of 6'3", 6'4" D men that could take up ice, and as you said, in the diamond, you got to be willing to block pucks, you know, off it. And there's an art to that. There's an art to blocking a puck. It's not easy. Everybody likes the diamond because you don't have to work maybe as hard, but that you got to be willing to eat those pucks as well. So, like anything, I say to Kurt's done a really good job on our penalty kill, even throughout some of its struggles, is identifying little changes or adjusting it to need be in order for us to have success. And I think that was evident from Friday night's changes to Saturday. You know what Kurt did with our penalty kill.
Good. Okay. Last thing. You know, you talked about how you inherited the scheduling, and something I've been curious about. Any thoughts, especially being an alum who played, about getting some type of tournament, Ohio tournament going with you? You know, you got the yearly games against Ohio State. What about something with Miami included, and then maybe throw an independent in and have a little tournament or something?
Yeah, that'd be great. You should get one of those teams to work on it there for us, and I'll be happy to join it. I think it'd be, you know, I say that all the time. It'd be so neat, right, to kind of have they have the you know, the Great Lakes, right? They were playing up in Detroit. I remember as a player all the time, even watching that event, you know, and looking at an Ohio sponsor, you know, through it, and maybe you circulate, you know, who hosts it, or you do a neutral site, you know, off it, and I always think it'd be something neat to do because it is something that you know, can bring, you know, like you said, that you got the 3 Ohio teams, you invite one in, you know, kind of would be a neat thing. It probably takes a little bit more logistics, you know, than us coaches putting together schedule off it. But I think it'd be a great thing. It'd be great for the fans. It'd be great to promote the game of hockey in the state of Ohio off it, and it'd be something that I would definitely be interested in discussing, you know, from it.